Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
I suspect that I made a mistake in making this title so clear and transparent because the atheists are too cowardly. We got to pick something, that they're not cowardly about.
What would you change it to?
Oh, um, if I really wanted to cater to their cowardliness, I could just change the title. There's no evidence for God. Change my mind, and then they would all go, yeah, 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 yeah. There's no evidence for God. Oh, there's no evidence for God. Oh, where's the evidence? Selah, come on up. What would you like to say, Sheila?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I have good morning. I have conversations with atheists all the time. I'm a Christian, and I don't
Hmm.
get that response at all. I have a feeling, Darth, it might be the the demonstration you just gave us with the hoobada hoobada hoobada. That might be what's causing them to troll and act that way towards you because I don't experience that.
Okay. I don't agree with you, but I will agree that your objection is substantive. But
Well,
I think that
thank
your
you.
objection
I
is wrong. Is
I
wrong.
appreciate it. I think
Yeah, contrary to popular opinion, I don't mind people stringently disagreeing with me as long as people are making substantive comments and they're
yeah.
not trolling. So maybe you're not asking the right kind of questions. Because you see, atheists will they they will turn to lying and obfuscation like throwing on a switch as a strategery, as George Bush would say. Okay.
I've witnessed Christians and Muslims alike do very similar things, and not just that. Like I think as Christians, we are called
Okay.
to take a stand and like not compromise in certain areas of our beliefs, but at the same time walk in an air of humility at the same time. And
Mhm.
sometimes I think we fail to do that, and so it makes us less effective. It depends on what our objective is. If our objective is to be
Mhm.
right and make a point, well, then we do that. But if our
Okay.
objective is to share and possibly even change someone's mind, then not so much.
So now you're changing the topic. Okay. Now, do you have a Bible?
I do. I normally have a Bible in a close vicinity. I'm a theological nerd, so yeah.
Okay. What translation do you like?
Ooh, Darth. Are you asking me so that you can categorize me to figure out if you'll like
N-
me or dislike me?
No, no. I just want to know if you like King James or if you prefer the NIV or the ESV. I'm just curious. That's all.
Well, I like
I'm
Young's
not trying to.
literal translation the most, actually,
Okay.
or
Okay.
Weymouth. Yeah,
Okay. Well, then you are a theological nerd. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with Romans 1.
I am.
Okay. Romans 1, it says, ever since the beginning of the creation, God's eternal powers, his attributes have been clearly seen through everything that has been made so that they are without an excuse. Do you recall that?
I do.
Okay. The word excuse there is the same word that we get for apologetics. It means they are without a defense. Excuse me. I just had some taste of pepper.
Are you okay?
No, no, I'm okay. I just had some. I was just tasting some pepper from my finished egg sandwich, and it reverberated on me. Um, I love pepper. Um, so the word is apologia. It means they are completely without a defense whatsoever. And it says they turn and they worship the creation. Now, do you agree with that verse?
if you mean that they are without excuse in their perspective, because it can be seen, like when you look out your window, you can see the beauty and the connection between everything, and that it can be rather obvious that there is a intelligent designer. Then, and that's what
No,
it's saying, then
it's
yes.
not. No, no, it's not obvious. Romans 1 doesn't say it's obvious. It says it is clearly seen.
Right,
They are
exactly.
without excuse.
So sure, instead of obvious,
There's
we'll
a difference.
say
There's a difference between something being obvious and something being clearly seen.
sure. So we'll
If you
say that
if you say something is obvious, you're watering down
but
the
what does it?
statement
No,
clearly
sure.
seen.
So like,
Why do you keep on over talking me?
I'm sorry, Darth.
Now, so when atheists say there is no evidence for God, I'm sure you've heard them say that.
Yeah, I've heard people say there's no evidence for God.
Okay, now, when the Bible says that everything collectively clearly is indicative and revelatory of God's eternal powers, it says it clearly is seen and they are without excuse. When they say there's no evidence for God, to believe in God, are they giving an excuse?
Okay, so the first question is that, yeah, so I think that they would be giving an excuse. I
Okay,
absolutely
is
think
that
that they would
legitimate?
be
Is that
giving an excuse.
excuse truthful?
Does that excuse truthful? Oh no, I think that they might be conveying what it is that they really think, even though
That's not an answer to my question.
I think so, Darth. I
No,
think people
I think that it's an evasion. Are they
no,
being truthful
Darth.
when they declare that there is no evidence for God when God says they are without any defense whatsoever, when they do not accept that the everything in the world clearly reveals God. So when
Okay,
they say there's no evidence for God, is that true?
I don't think that it's true, Darth, that there is no evidence for God. However,
I
let me
said
just,
it. Okay, so what
Darth,
they
please,
say is not
Darth, I
true
don't
then,
think that's
right?
fair. If you don't want to have like a back and forth dialogue, like allow me to say
Yeah.
something and then you
I'm
say
getting the
something.
feeling that you're evading my simple and
No,
fair
well, please
questions.
don't get that feeling. I'm
Are
not,
they being
Darth, I just
truthful
want
when
the
they say there's no?
opportunity to finish a sentence. That's all.
You may in a second. All I want to know
Thanks.
is when I ask a question, I don't want you to be go down semi-related rabbit trails. I'm asking you direct questions, and you are giving me semi-related answers. Are they
Um,
being truthful when they say there's no evidence for God?
Darth, I feel like because you don't give me the opportunity to speak, you're making assumptions that I'm giving semi-related answers. And I would appreciate if you'd allow me to finish my thought and then make that assessment if I'm giving a
Yet,
semi-related answer.
shall I ask the question again?
Sure.
Are they being truthful when they declare openly there's no evidence for God?
I don't think that they're being truthful when they make that declaration, but I also believe that doesn't affect or um,
Are they
create.
lying to themselves when they say that?
I think that they are in a place where, yeah, maybe so. But Darth, here's the thing about all of it. It's
So you agree
regardless,
with the
Darth,
title that says
please. This
atheists
is
troll and
Darth. Come
obfuscate?
on. Are you for real? Like, are you for real right
Yeah,
now? Is this
I don't
real?
need, yeah, I am real. I don't need you giving me a little mini community college lecture
Okay,
where you sugarcoat the atheist.
sugarcoat. Darth, I think
Yeah.
that somebody that's an atheist, I think that around the when they look around the world, it is obvious that a God exists. Now, whether they have the inability to accept that truth, it doesn't mean that I need to treat
They
them
have
like a
they have an
peon.
inability to accept it. They have an inability. See, now again, you're changing the subject. You're actually doing what they do. You are obfuscating the issue that's at hand. What we're talking about is what they do and what they think. Now, are you sticking to that topic?
I'm sticking to I'm sticking to that. Not only am I sticking to that topic, but I'm also adding in a third element on how they should be
We
treated
can
for how
discuss.
they think.
No. What you're doing is no. You're not sticking to that topic.
I am.
You're interjecting a new topic in order to obfuscate what the topic is at hand.
No, Darth, I
Now,
think you're a
if
little
you
bit
want to,
controlling, and
I'm not
instead of wanting to
controlling.
talk to
I'm not
people
controlling,
and
but
know where they're
I set the
coming from, you
parameters.
want to
I
control
am
the
not
conversation.
controlling, but I am assertively setting the parameters of the room by the title of the room. You are attempting, while pretending to address the question, to segue onto a semi-related topic, which is not the topic, which is, are they being mentally and verbally truthful when they deal with believers? That's the topic. Did you forget?
So I do think that they are being truthful in saying that they believe that there's not evidence.
Is
However,
there is there is there
Darth, you can't
belief?
do that. Let somebody finish their talks. Let
Wow,
them finish their sentence for
you must
crying
be
out
a joy
loud.
on a
Okay,
blind
Darth,
date.
maybe some other time because you don't want to have honest dialogue. You just want to
Oh,
be able to prove
I
points.
do, but you
Well, then
see,
allow
you
somebody to
reserve the
finish their
liberty.
sentence for crying out loud.
You see, then
All right,
if
Darth,
you're going
have
to
a
lay
blessed
down
day.
that rule,
I
if you're
rather
going to
talk
lay
to
down that rule, are you going
atheists
to
who are
follow that
fair
rule?
enough to
Are
allow
you going
other
to follow
people to
that
talk.
rule? Hey, honey, are you going to follow that rule?
Darth, I rather talk to atheists who allow other
Are
perspectives to
you
speak
okay?
than this right here.
Have you
Have a
interrupted
blessed
me
day,
at all
sir.
this time? You see, you want to play by a double standard.
Yeah,
You
I
cut me
want
off
to
any
talk to
number of
people
times,
who want to
didn't
have
you?
a real conversation.
I do want to have a conversation with you. Did you cut me off at any time since you've been on stage?
I did, no differently than you've done.
Yeah. Okay. So then why the emotional double standard?
Because I apologized when I did mine.
Oh, okay. So from now on, we're not going to cut each other off, right?
That sounds like a deal. Thanks, Darth.
Good. Now, number two, we're not going to segue onto semi-related topics, right?
It depends on if the segue is applicable.
No, it doesn't depend because I'm not going to permit it. We have a topic here. Are atheists trolling and obfuscating, i.e., that they are lying about what they say? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they say there's no evidence for God, you said that's not true, right?
Wait, when I say that they say that there's no evidence for
When
God,
atheists
yes,
say there's no evidence for
from
God,
my
is that
perspective and the
do
text.
they have a justification for saying that?
Hey, just stop being argumentative, Darth, and just have a conversation.
It's not argumentative. That's a direct question.
It is. Your tone and everything makes it not
My tone is
desirable to have a
perfectly fine.
conversation.
Are we gonna play the victim routine because you're a female?
It's not routine. Oh wow. Oh
Is this the game you're gonna
wow.
play?
Oh
I'm
wow.
a little female, and Darth is being aggressive. No, I'm being assertive.
No, Darth, it's
No.
not being aggressive. It's being pleasant,
Okay.
brother. Like to want a desire to
I'm
want to
not
talk
picking
to
up that you're
someone.
being pleasant. I'm not picking up that you're being pleasant at all.
Well,
Now, I
maybe
talk
I
with
should
people
do
all the
better then.
time.
Maybe I should do better
Yeah.
then.
Now,
Um,
let's get back to the topic. Are
let's get
atheists
back to
being
it.
truthful, and do they have a justification when they say there's no evidence for God?
So we've agreed we're not going to cut each other off. And I would say that I believe from their perspective, they think that they're being truthful. But
I didn't ask you that.
Darth, what happened to not cutting people off
I'm
5
cutting
minutes
you
ago? Like
off because,
literally.
again, you
But
are
Darth, if
evading
you
the
don't
question.
allow, Darth, you have to let somebody complete the
Okay.
thought to make that assessment.
I will be
Like,
glad to let you complete a
no,
thought
you're not
as
so
long
glad because
as
you
you,
don't let
wow,
me. You don't let me.
no, you are being
All right, Darth.
dishonest and
I
disingenuous.
genuinely
You
think
are
that you
not
have,
answering my question. Are
Darth.
atheists being
I'm not
truthful when they
answering your
say there's no
question because
evidence
you
for
don't
God?
let me
I didn't.
answer your question.
I'm saying, are they being truthful? And do they have a defense when they say there's no evidence for God? Answer that question, please.
Darth, I'm trying to answer your question, but you're not
No, you're
allowing me to
not,
answer
because
it
the last
because
time
you
you
want
did,
to
you evaded.
control my answer.
I'm not controlling your
Okay, well
answer,
then
but what I
allow me
am
to
going to
answer.
do,
Allow me to
I will.
answer.
Okay, I will keep my mouth shut completely, like it's super glued, as long as you don't evade the question and scurry down a semi-related path.
Yeah,
Are
and
atheists
this is what I
being?
hear you saying,
Excuse
Darth,
me, I'm
is
talking,
I
honey.
will keep my mouth closed
Are
as
they
long as
being?
you
Okay, listen.
answer the
I
way
don't
I
want to
want you
have to.
to.
I don't want to have to kick you off because you see, you are a hypocrite. Because
Darth, at this
I
point,
could
I'd
play
be
the
fine
sleazy.
if you
Okay, I'm
do.
gonna mute. I'm gonna mute your microphone. Okay. Now, you are a hypocrite because you're telling me, "Oh, Darth, you're interrupting me. Oh, Darth, you're being controlling." I could go that sleazy route with you the way you're talking with me. I will ask the question, and let's see if you focus on the question. Are atheists being truthful, and do they have a justification when they assert there's no evidence for God?
I'll let you answer the question as long as you let me control your answer. That's what I hear, Darth.
I'm waiting for an
Like,
answer.
sure.
If you don't give me an
I'm
answer
going
to
to
that
answer the
question in the
question as
next 30
honestly as
seconds,
I
I'm
can.
removing you from the
Again,
room.
hey, listen, if you remove me, Darth, I'm okay with that at this point,
20
honestly. So
seconds.
please. So I believe that they're being truthful in the way that they really are conveying what they think. But I think the text is saying that they don't have excuse. So I think that when they say that there is no evidence, that they're being truthful in what they think, but the text is saying that no, there is no evidence. There is evidence for God. So they
So,
think that when they say I think there's no evidence, that's what they really think. But
are they being truthful?
the text is saying there is evidence. I think they're being truthful in that
So
they
who's
think
right?
there's no evidence. Well, of course,
Oh,
I think that there's evidence for God because even the
do they
Bible
think they're
tells me.
truthful because they're guilty of self-deception?
I
That's
think
what I was
they're,
going to say.
yeah,
The self-deception thing.
I think that they're being truthful in that they think that there's no evidence. But the Bible is
No,
telling me
no,
that there
no, no,
is
no, no,
evidence.
no, no, no. Okay, so you're saying they do have an excuse then?
No, am I saying that they have an excuse for
Does Romans 1 say they have no excuse whatsoever?
Darth, when I look out my window and I see
Can
the
you answer
world,
my question? Would you
Darth,
stop trying to be
stop trying to
controlling?
control how I
Stop trying to be
answer, Darth.
controlling. No,
Stop trying to control how I answer.
you keep on answering a question in a semi-related path. Does the Bible say they are without excuse?
Darth, I'm not going to let you control the way that I want to answer. I'm sorry.
Okay,
So if you'd
goodbye.
like to
Yeah,
remove me,
you know
please
what?
do by all
You
means.
are as bad as they are. Goodbye. See you later. Okay. Wow. What a shocker. We have a so-called professing Christian who I wouldn't be surprised if she was an atheist troll trying to pretend to be a Christian. You see, when I interject when she's talking because she's simply not addressing the question and she's just going blah 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 on a semi-related path. Oh, I'm the abuser. Darth is controlling. It's not that she's being abusive by purposely evading the question. Do you know how many times I ask people straightforward questions and they waste my time by not addressing the question, and then they go wah 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 wah, and then when I get done, if I don't interject after they've wasted my time, and I say, "You didn't address the question." Well, yes, I did. They did it. Wah 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 wah. Okay. I said, "Are they being truthful?" And she goes, "Well, I think that they believe that." I didn't ask you that. I said, "Are they being truthful?" Where do they grow people like that? I strongly suspect that she was an atheist troll.
2 days later.
You know, it's interesting. I had how should I say, some verbal fisticuffs with another professing female Christian. I think her name was Selah Vie or something like that. Does that name ring a bell?
Not to me, but other people.
I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I know who
Yeah.
you're talking
And
about.
she was whining and complaining about, Darth Dawkins was mean to her, having complete amnesia about her own disposition toward me that provoked my response.
A few moments later.
Oh, speak of the devil, she's here in the audience. You know, when I was talking with Miss Selah, I pointed out they are without excuse. So when they continue to present themselves as being reasonable and rational in their unbelief, they're lying, every single one of them. How do I know that? God says they are. They are without excuse. They are without a defense. In other words, there is no rational basis for their unbelief. None. I see somebody brought up Selah. What would you like to say, Selah?
Hi, everybody. I don't know if somebody asked me to come to the stage, just sent me an invite, and so I thought I would come on up.
Okay. Well, do you realize when you quoted Romans the other day, Paul was not revealing to them the unknown God, the statue?
You mean Acts,
That was,
right? Acts, right?
excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, I misspoke. Acts. Yeah, it's late and I'm tired. That when you quoted the unknown God, Paul wasn't revealing to them the unknown God. That was the icing on the cake of the stupidity of the gods they believed in.
So you asked me a question. You said, "Do I know that?" And you asked me a question, and
Mm-hmm.
this is where I think that you want me to respond, and I'm more than happy to do that. But I just want to make sure that I'll be able to speak without being overtalked or even cut off and things like that.
Are we going to play this game again? Because you were rude with me.
I think the replays are on, Darth, and people can go and
Yeah,
try to make that
I
assessment for themselves.
have a vivid memory of our interaction. Okay, I asked you a question. Does the scripture say that they are without a defense and excuse? And you ignored that, and you kept on going on about how, well, maybe they believe it's true. You recall?
Yeah. I recall very well, and if people want to go back and listen to the replays, I think they're welcome to do that and make their own assessment on what happened.
So, are unbelievers without excuse?
So if I'm going to continue to have the conversation,
All right, you're not gonna. You listen. You're gonna keep
yeah,
on repeating
you
the
want to
same whining
control.
over
You want to
again.
control
No,
from
I
what
don't want
I
to
gave.
control it. I want you
Right.
to stop your whining and address the question.
This is
This
what
is
I
what
want to make
happened the
sure you're
last
not going to
time.
do, or else I
You
don't
know
want to
what? You know what?
engage with you,
You're doing
Darth.
exactly what you did the last time. I asked you a direct question, and now you're whining and complaining.
Darth, I'm
Okay,
not even
goodbye.
starting the conversation. Yeah,
Goodbye.
exactly.
Hit the road. Hit the road. Wow. How'd you like to be married to that? She pulls the same crap she did last time. Okay? It's called play the victim card.
Oh my goodness. Some of the things you say just kill me, dude.
I was dying to be honest.
I couldn't.
No, I'll be honest with you. Okay, I don't like her. I think she's a little snot. Okay, in my very first encounter with her, she was snotty and she was evasive. Right, and then when I pointed out her evasiveness, then she plays the victim card.
Well, you notice how she referred to the replays instead of just defending herself right then and there. She insisted that people leave and go listen to a replay. I find that this is a tactic for evasion as well.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it all the time when people are trying to slander someone. They say, "Oh, just listen to the replay," instead of actually defending themselves in the moment.
I'm a little female, and Darth is being aggressive.